Alright, in this video we're going to talk about how to graph translations. And translations are, again, part of that geometry unit. Our color is still going to be pink. Okay. A translation of a geometric figure is a slide of the figure in which all points on the figure move the same distance and in the same direction. Okay. So a translation is a slide, SL, and actually the word translation has the letters SL in it for slide. Okay. So how do I translate a shape? For each vertex, that's like a corner. So for each corner on the pre-image, that's the given image, that's the shape that you see. All of these are pre-images. Count the correct number of units in the correct direction or directions. Sometimes you'll have one place you have to move. Sometimes you'll have two things you have to do. Then plot the coordinates of the image, that's the resulting picture, and list the ordered pairs if necessary. Okay. So for number one, my directions say 2 units to the right. We know right is this direction. The hardest part about this for 7th graders is knowing and remembering which way is right and which way is left. And you might think that's kind of funny now, but I can't tell you the number of times I've seen students actually go left when they're supposed to go right. So drawing a little arrow might help you remember this. All right, if we're going 2 units to the right, we're going to start with the point L, and we're simply going to count 1, 2 units. And that is my new point L. We call that point L prime. I'm sure many of you guys have seen the movies called Transformers. And these are all about geometric transformations. So if you remember the main character, the main transformer, his name is Optimus Prime. He starts out as a truck, and then that would be like the point L, and then he changes into a robot. That would be like L prime, so he changes into Optimus Prime. So we call the image point L prime. Okay, we can do the same thing with M. We're going to go 2 units right, so we're going to count 1, 2, and that's the point M prime. And then we're going to slide point F 2 places to the right, 1, 2, and there's my new point F prime. Connect all of those points together, and I have a triangle. If your new triangle or your new shape does not look exactly like the old shape, but in a different location, then you did something wrong. So you wouldn't want to go back and check your work. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is we want to write actually the ordered pairs for F prime, L prime, and M prime. Okay, so we have to read the coordinates off of the graph. So F prime, okay, I'm here on the y-axis, so my x-coordinate is 0. I'm not traveling any direction left or right. And my y-coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4. So F prime is in the location 0, 4. So these are all the coordinates of the image. L prime, I go left 2, so that's a negative 2. And I go up 2, so that's a positive 2 in the y direction. And then M prime, I go right 1, so that's a positive 1 in the x direction. And I go up 1, 2, 3, so that's a positive 3 in the y direction. Okay, example number 2, I'm translating this triangle 2 units up. So I'm going to start with P prime, and then I simply count up 2 units. I go 1, 2, start with point P, go to point P prime. Okay, T, same thing. Here's T. I'm counting up 2 places. 1, 2. That's going to be T prime. And G prime, I'm going to count up 2 spaces. 1, 2. And there's G prime. Connect all of those together. And I have my image. And notice my triangle looks the same, but it's just in a slightly different location. All right, and I want to write my coordinates, P prime, G prime, and T prime. So starting with P prime, I'm gone over 1, 2, 3, 4 in the negative direction, so my x-coordinate is negative 4. And then I went up 1, 2, 3 in the y direction, so my y-coordinate is 3. G prime, I went 1 positive in the x direction, so my x-coordinate is 1. And then I'm right on the x-axis. I didn't move up or down, so my y-coordinate would be 0. T prime, I went 1, 2, 3, 4 in the negative direction, so that would be negative 4. And then I went down 1, so that's a negative 1 in the y direction. All right, last example for today. This one requires us to do two things. We have to go 3 units to the right, and then we have to go 4 units up. Okay, so I'm going to start with Q. I'm going to go 3 units right, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to label that as Q prime. All right, I'm going to do N, 3 units right, 1, 2, 3, 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be N prime. And then M, 3 units right, 1, 2, 3, and 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's M prime. Connect my points. And again, same triangle, different location. Last step to write the ordered pairs. So I have Q prime, N prime, and M prime. Q prime, we went to the left one, so that's negative 1, and we went down, so that's also negative 1. So my ordered pair is negative 1, negative 1. N, we went to the right 1, 2, 3 points, and then we went up 1, 2. And then last but not least, M prime, we went to the left 1, so that's a negative 1 in the x direction, and we went up 1, 2, 3, so that's a positive 3 in the y direction.